Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today is Q&A video number 140. Again, I want to thank all you guys for your support in the Q&As and for watching them and commenting on them. That's what motivates me to keep making these videos. Also, you can follow me on Facebook and Google+, and the links are underneath today's video. Also, the weather's been getting a lot nicer here. As you can see, there's still a lot of snow here. And the snow should start melting pretty soon. We still have a good month of winter left though. Once the snow melts, you're going to see all my junk back here because it's actually covered in snow right now. That's the one thing I don't like about spring, is you see all the junk in your yard that's been covered in snow all winter. In my first question today, a YouTuber asked me, can I use brake cleaner to clean small engine parts? Well, my answer to that is yes, you can. Just make sure you don't use it on a hot surface because the smoke from brake cleaner can be very toxic to your health. That question came in response to somebody who saw me cleaning a friction disc like this with a rag and straight gas, and their specific question was, can I use brake cleaner on this part? Well, yes, you can. You can also use methyl hydrate as well if you want. It dries very quickly. The reason why I use straight gas and a rag on these discs is because it's very convenient and it cleans these discs very well. Also, somebody asked me the other day, can I use carburetor cleaner to clean this disc? Well, the answer to that would be yes. The only thing is that carburetor cleaner will be much more expensive to use than straight gas and a rag. And another question I got the other day in regards to choke and carburetor cleaner is, can I use this as quick start? Well, my answer to that is yes. I often use carburetor cleaner as quick start. The reason it works well is because it's very flammable, and I'll often spray a bit in the carburetor in the chainsaw or something like that just to get it going. And don't use too much because you may end up looking like this guy over here. If you're feeding a chainsaw this stuff for quite a while, you'd want to make sure you have mixed gas in the tank. The carb cleaner has no oil in it, and if you use it too much in your 2-cycle equipment, you could burn out the engine because there's no oil getting into the cylinder. And the same principle would apply to this quick start over here. It's called liquid fire. It's got no oil in it, but it's very flammable. Just a tip, if you have a chainsaw that only runs when you pour liquids down the carburetor, if you're going to do it for a while, you might as well use mixed gas. Somebody asked me, how much is an engine like this worth? It's an HM80. It's an 8 horsepower engine from a snowblower. Well, if your engine is running perfectly, it's worth between $100 and $200, and that would be without the electric starter. If your electric starter works good, you could sell the whole thing as a package deal for about $250. Or you could maybe get even more money than that. It all depends on how it looks, how good the paint is on the engine, if it's been abused or neglected. And it would also depend on how badly a person wants that engine. You could always start selling it at a bit higher price, like $250 or $300, and give people the option that they can buy it for less, but all you would do is remove the electric starter and sell that later on separately. These electric starters here in Canada cost well over $200 with tax. So you could sell a used one for at least $100 if it's in good condition. Somebody asked me the other day, why is it when I rewind the spring on my recoil, it just basically gives out and then it's all loose again? What causes that is that the spring is usually broken, or it's broken right where it connects on the recoil housing inside. Sometimes if you try to tighten up the spring too much, you can snap it because it's putting way too much pressure on the spring inside. And this is the clip inside that may bend or snap off the spring. This is actually a recoil spring that will fit a Honda GX 120 and 160. If you're in a jam, you can actually heat up the end and bend it back so it fits on the notch inside the recoil housing, but that may not be a permanent fix. It could last a week or it could last a year, but you just never know. If you repair it for yourself, it's okay, because if it breaks, there's nobody else to blame but yourself. If you're doing it for a customer though, I highly recommend that you replace the whole starter spring, because you don't want them coming back with a broken spring again. They will definitely not be happy. A question I got the other day is in regards to Tecumseh carburetors that fit on engines from 8 horsepower to about 11 horsepower. And it's in regards to the small cap here on the air screw. Sometimes people take the cap off to remove the jet or replace it, and then they cannot put the cap back on or they lose it. And somebody asked me the other day, will it run okay if that little plastic cap is missing? Well, the answer to that is yes. That's because the cap is just to keep the slot in the screw clean. Here I have a carburetor where the cap's missing, and this carburetor ran fine. When you have the cap on and you remove it, the screw will be much cleaner. This one's a little dirty, but not to the point that you cannot take it off. And if the screw's on tight enough, it's not going to let any dirt get in the carb. So don't worry about it. If you lose it, you lose it. You can also order a new cap if you want. If you do need a new one, it's part 640053. And here's the new cap. And there will be a link under today's video to where you can buy one of these caps. In another question I just received about electric starters for Tecumseh engine is, does it matter if the ground prong here is broken off the switch? While it does matter, you should have it on there. If something shorts out, there'll be nowhere for the ground to go. And a person asked me, do I have to replace the whole switch just to fix that prong if it's missing? Well, my answer to that would be yes. You have to replace the whole switch which connects inside the starter to fix that ground plug. It's basically all part of the switch assembly, and you can buy just the switch and the wire that goes to the starter. It's too bad you have to replace the whole switch to fix that, but that's the way it comes. Also, somebody asked me if the gear is stripped on my starter, can I replace just the gear or do I have to buy a whole new starter? Well, you can buy just the gear, and what I'm going to do is put a link under today's video to where you can buy one directly online. And I do have a video that shows how to replace the starter gear on your electric starter for your Tecumseh engine, and I'm going to put a link to that video underneath today's video so you can go watch it. My last question today is going to be on cutoff saws like this. One of the most common questions I get on concrete saws is, what makes them not worth repairing? Well, usually they'll come in with a blown top end, meaning the cylinder, piston, and rings. And oftentimes that's caused by user neglect, specifically neglecting to clean the air filters on these machines. Because these saws are used to cut rock and concrete, the filters get dirty really quickly. It becomes like a paste inside there, and if that paste gets into the cylinder, it doesn't take long to just ruin it. It may not score the piston and the cylinder, but it's going to be in there like a fine sandpaper. Then you're not going to have any compression. And once the compression's gone, your saw's not going to run again. I've seen a lot of saws come in my shop where the user failed to clean the air filters properly, and he ended up buying saws all the time because of that. So a little maintenance can save you a lot of money down the road in aggravation and lost work time as well. It's well worth taking 15 to half an hour of your time once a week to clean your filters and replace them if they need to. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for all your comments, and have yourselves a great weekend.